Hello. There we go. Had to get my screen all set up here. And I have a little bit of a new setup this time. So I have to see if I can get this working. I shouldn't say a new setup. It's not quite that dramatic. But, and also turn this off because I didn't know the sound was on. So 1 second. There we go. Okay. This has the sound on it too. Okay, there we go. I did not quite have everything set up the way I thought I did. I thought I was going to be early. And that is not what's happening. Okay, we're going to see if this works. I found a new way to put the chat on my iPad. So we're giving that a go. Because I think it's going to be easier to read than what I was doing before. But we'll give that a try. But I think we are all set. And we are all ready. And this is what we're going to be doing today. So I have... Well, I've kind of ripped into it, but just humor me. I have the new Gina K Designs kit here. Well, it's arguably not new anymore. Like, we're only a couple weeks away from the newest release or whatever. So really, it's several weeks old now. But if you followed me on Instagram, you probably saw that I was out of town for a little bit. So, and it didn't matter because this was when the live was scheduled for either way. But this is what I wanted to do today. And we are going to make well, I have this is the plan, okay? I'm going to lay out the plan for you because I don't really know how it's going to go. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, I have 5 card ideas written down right here. They all use, if we get through all 5 of them, we will use every product in the kit in some way, shape, or form. I don't think we're going to make it through all 5. I think we'd be here all night. So, I'm going to start, and every time we finish a card, I'm just going to check in and see what time it is. And decide if we're going to go for another one or not. And then anything that I don't finish, my plan is to hopefully do some kind of follow-up video, possibly, for the ones that we don't get to today, because I would still really like to share them all with you. So that is the plan. I really want to say that I will have the follow-up video done for you by next Monday. I can't make that promise right now. I have a lot of things going on this week, and I don't know if that's gonna happen. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it done for next Monday. But so my question for y'all, if you want to let me know in the comments or in the chat or whatever, would you rather see the follow-up video? So like, if I don't get it done for Monday, would you rather I post it as like a second video next week? Because I think I can get it done for next week. I just don't know about getting it done for Monday. Or would you rather that I like save it and do it the next week? I personally would prefer, sorry, camera's dirty and it's bothering me. I would prefer to save it for the following week. If I don't get it done for Monday. But I thought I would ask and get opinions because I could really go either way. That's what I was trying to say. Okay, enough of me talking. I'm gonna try. Hold on, we're gonna try this. I should have buttons in front of me that work now to change the cameras. We're gonna see if it works. Okay, so if I push this button, oh, it worked. Yay! Okay. Like I said, I just found out that if you guys have seen some streamers, they have these little like stream deck things that let you push buttons to like change your camera, is your whatever, do a whole bunch of different things. And I found out that the streaming software that I use has one that you can download and put on a phone or an iPad or whatever. And it also shows the chat. And I thought it'd be easier to read this way because I was having... It was not easy to see the way I had it set up last time. So we're trying something new. Anyway, on to the cards. So the first card we're going to do is one I actually did sort of pre-work on this morning. Because I was up early and I had time, and I thought it would be a good idea to get a little head start. So I already have some die cut pieces here, and we're going to start with using these two die sets. I was going to say stamp sets, but they're not stamp sets, they're die sets. So this is the Grand Garden Gate and Grand Garden Vines, and yes, they do go together. They are friends. And I also have, so this is what I was thinking. I also have this black glossy cardstock. I have to move this out of the way for a second. Hold on. From Simon Says Stamp. I think I just got it. Sometimes when I order stuff from Simon, I will just peruse the sale categories to see what there is, if I'm already ordering stuff from there. And I think this was one of those purchases. It must have been on like a sale, and I was like, okay, let's get it and try it. And I don't use it very often, but I thought it would be, because it's like a little bit shiny, it would be really cool for the gate. Now I will say these little dudes are kind of big, and I'm a little worried they're not going to fit on here, but I have a backup plan. I don't really want to do my backup plan because I have to get a whole bunch of other things out that I don't have out right now. But we'll see what happens. But I think if I do them at an angle like so, it'll work. I need washi tape. It's around here somewhere because I just used it this morning, but I don't know where it went. There it is. Found it. Okay. So I'm going to actually stick it on my pants. Well, actually, this is not super sticky, so I shouldn't need to stick it on my pants. I should be able to just do this. Oops, I've missed a step. Okay, hold on. This is what I actually want to do. This goes here to tape that section down, and then, so this will cut out the outside of our gate, and I was just thinking, like, you could do, like, a really cool door situation with that if you wanted to, and not use this little fancy thing here. But we are going to use this fancy thing here. I really do encourage you to go. Gina did a video on this last Thursday, I believe. Maybe it was it would have been 2 Thursdays ago, I think. Yes, 2 Thursdays ago. Or maybe I don't remember. Recently. She did a video on this die set fairly recently. And I would recommend you go check that video out because she talks a lot how to do gatefold cards with these, which I think are really cool. But that's not what we're doing today. We're just doing a regular card today. So I'm going to get my inch cut out. Always, this is your reminder because I'm really bad at doing this. Always make sure you push the little doors in. Hold on. Now I messed it up. Push the little doors in because that makes it cut better. I know it doesn't seem like it should. It seems dumb, but it does make a difference. Okay. Platform. This is already set up for settings from this morning, so I'm not really worried about that at the moment. Oops. I'm dropping things. Gonna flip this over like so. And actually though, I know I just said that I wasn't gonna mess with the settings, but because this is kind of an intricate die, I'm gonna go a little bit tighter than I normally would. And this is my first time die cutting this die too, so we'll see how this goes. We shall see. Okay, stuff everywhere. That felt good. So the question is, did it actually cut? You guys are going to have to wait a second to see, I think, because Oh, it did. It cut perfectly. Yay. Alright. I'm gonna just stick this off to the side for a moment. Like that. And get rid of all these extra little bits that already came out of it. And we're gonna do the other one. Except I should have done this the other way. Hold on. That's okay. I didn't make good decisions. Sometimes I don't. Hopefully you'll still be able to see a little bit, but we're going to do the same thing we just did. So, to do the other side of the gate. I'm going to put this at a little bit of an angle. I'm going to, since this is working right now, I'm going to tell you, this one doesn't want to, oh, nope, there we go. Got it. I'm going to tell you what my sort of other backup plan was if this did not work because of how small this cardstock was. My other plan was to do this with, I taped that down wrong again, was to do this with toner cardstock because I think you could have a lot of fun die cutting this in toner cardstock. And this is why, because this paper kind of reminds me of toner cardstock, although it's not. So don't foil it because it's not going to work. And I gotta shift it around a little bit. This one is not quite as lined up nice as the other one, but I think I got it now. But this black cardstock reminded me of toner paper when I was first using it, or first looking at it this morning. Yeah. And I thought it would be really cool to do this with toner cardstock and then foil it, or polyglaze. I mean, you could do it with polyglaze too. Just the black set my brain right to toner cardstock. I do think, you could really go either way. I was gonna say, I think the toner cardstock would maybe be a little bit better. I think the one, but not really. They'd be the same. The only one advantage you'd have with doing the toner cardstock, I think, is that it does come in a peel and stick version, which would make it much easier to stick when you're done, than having to glue it. Because I feel like that's going to be a little bit annoying. But, that would be the only reason, really, to pick one or over the other, is if you had toner cards, or if you had the peel and stick toner paper. Okay. Oh, look, tape. Why? There. That's not sticky anymore. Okay. That's probably why it's there, because it's not sticky anymore. My washi tape is getting very old, and it definitely doesn't stick like it used to most things. But, and this is still going. I just noticed this crack, though, is getting very big, so we'll see. But, still the original plate, guys. I've had it since the intercut came out, which I think is almost 2 years now, if not longer than that. Because I know it came out in November. I don't really remember which November it came out in, though. Okay. We're going to see this intercut again later, but for actually not that long. Really not that long, but for right now, we're going to put it away. Not even really put it away, I just put it on the floor next to me. While I get these dies put away. Are you, question, are you guys a clean up as you go type person, or are you a, I just leave it all as a mess, and then whenever it gets cleaned up, it gets cleaned up? I like to pretend I am the first person and clean things up as I go, but I am not that person at all. And I simply make a mess and then clean it up later. But in reality, I'm probably somewhere in between the two, because it just depends on the day and how much I'm trying to do. I find the more time that I'm spending like in my craft room in a day, the less likely I am to clean up as I go. But if I'm only in here for a short time, I'm more likely to clean up as I go. So explain that one to me. But I feel like when I'm in here for a long time, the creative juices just kind of get going, and then I don't want them to stop, so I don't stop and clean up, even though I should stop and clean up. So it would make my life a lot easier. But I'm that way with like my regular house too, though. So all right. I'm looking for this thing that's right in front of me. This is so pretty. I love this dye. I really do. It's been a long time since I've gotten one of the Gina K kits. Like, they just haven't been speaking to me lately. And, or at least to the point where it was worth it to get the whole kit. But this one was speaking to me. And I'm very glad I have it now, because it took me, my plan originally was to only make this card for this live, and it very quickly became, oh, let's just do all the cards. Next thing I knew, I had a list of 5 different cards I wanted to do. So that's just where we're at. I'm gonna be nice to my dies today and just poke them out like so. I don't feel like tossing them around. Actually, I mean, that is the quicker and easier option, but I just don't feel like I want to throw them today. That could change later. Although this is the only, no, that's not true. I was gonna say this is the only intricate die cut we're doing today, but it is not if we get to all the cards. Maybe that's what it is, because the other die is the heart frame die in this kit is very, very intricate. So maybe that's what I'm saving it for. But no, for right now, we're just gonna poke them out. All right, there we go. That, and I'm gonna put this away and clean up all these little bits. Oh, I shouldn't have put that away yet. I still have to poke them out of this other over here. The other thing I was thinking this morning that I'm not going to do today because we don't have time for that, is that I'm focusing while I brush all these little things off the table, is putting vellum behind this would be really pretty, I think. I think it would be very, very pretty. And I'm you know, it's going on my list of to do some days, because I do think it would be very pretty. And I'm just gonna put this away. See, all these steps, not normally stuff I do. Normally I just leave them out and throw them all over my desk and then can't find them, but something about being on the live tries to keep me a little bit more organized. So, I mean, I appreciate y'all for that. Okay. I can't believe how well this die cut, actually. I was not expecting this to die cut as well as it did. Thought this paper would give me some trouble, but it did not. But back to the foiling thing, just because I'm thinking about it again, because my brain went back there. Can you imagine, like, all the fun colors you could do with this? Oops. I just feel like they're, like, if you did the foil version, you could do so many fun colors, I think. I almost did. When I was debating scrapping the black, when I realized that I actually only had the small sheets of cardstock, I thought about doing it with I have both polyglaze sheets and toner sheets, and I thought about doing it and doing it in like a teal color. But if I'm being honest, I don't know if I have foil that color. Alright, I'm gonna grab my paper cutter real quick. Because this die makes these little score lines on it, so you could like fold this around and turn it into a gatefold card, but I don't want to do that today. Actually, you know what, I'm not going to cut them off. I think I want to leave them. I think I want to leave them. because I feel like they kind of look just like little posts on the side. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they still look like a little part of the gate, even without, and, like, then the fence would be, like, over here. Like, these are little fence posts for them. So I think I'm going to leave them. I think I have changed my mind. Alright, so, these are from, I'm just going to talk about this really quick before we kind of move on to the next step. These are all from the Grand Garden, oops, you can't see that, from the Grand Garden Vines die set. I did these two branches, leaves, I don't know what you want to call them, foliage pieces. I did these, and then I did a couple sets of these leaves, and then I did these flowers. And I'm just going to flip this over really quick. I kind of wish I had done, maybe I will do one more set of flowers, because I'm kind of looking at these and wishing I had done, I will, hold on. We are going to die cut. I want to do another set of one of these flowers. Okay, come out. And we're going to use my mini intercut for this, even though we're going to need the big one in a minute, but we'll use the mini one for now. Because this is the perfect kind of stuff that I like to do on the mini, which is kind of what I did this morning. I was up early this morning, and I was like, hey, I have a little time. I was like, theoretically, I could save myself some time on the live tonight and do some die cutting, and I decided that, yes, that's exactly what I was going to do. So I just got out my mini intercut, and I got out this die set, and I started die cutting things, but I want to die cut a little bit more, actually. So, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to quickly talk about the March stream, I think. Because I'm kind of keep setting myself up to talk about it, and I'm going to take the opportunity and do it while I die cut this. Mostly because of something I'm going to share in a second. Actually, no, I'm going to share it first, and then we'll talk about March later. Okay, I'm going to cut this a little bit off so that this fits a little bit better on here. Like so. And I'm just going to put that in there. And I did get a grip mat for my mini intercut, actually. It is not one of the Gina ones, but I don't really feel like getting it out right now, so it's just gonna stay in its drawer because I'm just being lazy. And I'm gonna cut two of these extra little flowers. These are more like flower buds than actual flowers. There are also these little guys. These ones are little circles for the inside of some of these flowers, but I'm not going to do that today. We're going to do something else for the insides of the flowers. We're not going to leave them naked, don't worry. We're just going to do something different. I would not leave, actually I shouldn't say that because I definitely have left flowers naked before, but we're not doing that today. Okay. I wasn't expecting that to happen. There we go. Not that that would have been the end of the world. That was actually what I wanted to happen in the end, just not yet. Okay. There we go. Now we have a little more flowers. For some reason, these flower dye things most of them come in 6s, so my brain says I must have 6. So we have 6. Okay. Put this dye set away, which I have a feeling I'm going to want it back out in a little bit, but we'll see. I'm a little worried about my leaves. I think I might want more of them, so we'll see. It might have to come back out. But, again, will use my mini with this, so it's not like it feels easier to get it back out if I need to. I wanted to talk about. This is my little new, I think I may have talked about this last time, but I don't remember how far along I was on it last time. This is my new little scrap storage idea. It's just a stamp pocket. I'm just putting all of my scraps in it, and then it just goes with the color in my paper storage back here. You probably can't even hear me right now because I'm not facing the microphone, but it just goes back there, and it stays back there, and it makes it very easy when I'm trying to die cut little things like this to like quickly grab something. So die cut. Okay. Now, what do I want to do next? I think this is what I want to do next. Okay. So we're doing a 5x7 card, first of all. I made this card base this morning because my card bases are running low. And I needed a 5x7 one because I didn't have any. And we're going to do kind of a white on white sort of, well, not really because colors. But I'm going to do, the background is going to be a little white on white situation. So, I'm going to grab this piece of cardstock because I probably need to cut it. Well, I know I need to cut it. I just meant I didn't have any pre-cut panels this size. I do have, so this is a 5x7 card because this gate needs it. I mean, it doesn't really. It could be a little less than 5x7, but it's a little big for, I thought it was a little big on an A2 card when I tried it earlier. And I'm not going to do like a scene in the background or anything like that, but I do like that it sort of gives it a little bit of a, I don't know what the word is, but it gives it, well, okay, so way back when I was in high school and learning about TV production and all that kind of stuff, we would talk about the camera and lining things up, especially when it's a like front facing shot when someone's on the camera. And now you all aren't allowed to judge me because I know my camera work is not that good, and I know better, but it's just I don't have a great setup for like checking angles and things. So but anyway, so you would always want to leave a little bit of space at the top of your camera, and it's called headroom, and that's what just reminds me of. It's just like leaving a little bit of headroom for, if you were gonna do an actual scene, like it gives you a little bit of sky space, or you could like add a tree back there or something, but that's not what we're doing today. We're just going, our gate is like our primary focus thing, and we're just doing something fun in the background. Okay, I'm going to, this goes pretty much all the way out, so I don't think I'm going to do an extra layer. I was debating if I wanted to, but now that I'm looking at the gate, and since I'm leaving the extra little foldy bits on it, I don't think I want, I think I just want it to be a 5x7 panel and be done with it. Alright, this needs to go to big mode. Ooh, is this going to ha. Small setup problem, there is not enough room on my desk. I feel like everyone has that problem though, right? Like there's never enough room. Never ever. Okay. So we're gonna cut this at 7. So I do have the 5x7 master layouts. Yeah, the 5x7 master layout set. But honestly, a lot of times I just end up cutting them myself. Because I have to cut them anyway. Because they're already, like, is that right? Yes. Because they're already, like, that's not right. What did I do? I did something goofy. Hold on. No, I didn't. I did it right. Just forgot what I was doing, that's all. Okay. But I have to cut them down anyway, usually. I don't usually, like, have that size, and I have to cut them down to cut down the mat, like, to fit in my intercut to cut the panel. So unless I'm doing it stitched something, I generally don't, like, use the master layouts unless I want the stitch edge or some of the other like fun little elements that are in it. Okay, back to the intercut. We're gonna do some embossing like so. So this is a very, very, very old Gina K Designs Petite Flourish embossing folder, but it is one of my favorite embossing folders. We're going to switch this up to 2D. I'm going to put it back to 0. And so technically the instructions for your Intricut are going to tell you not to use this top plate with an embossing folder. I usually find that I need to. So I'm going to use it. We're gonna put this in here, close it. Oh, I might not need to this time though. That felt not awful. Let's see. Come on, embossing folder, stay. Yeah, I might not need to this time. Alright, let's try it. The thing I have discovered with embossing folders in the Intricut is they do sometimes take a little trial and error to find out exactly how they want to work. And sometimes it can also depend on what cardstock you have. This cardstock is one I just grabbed. Yeah, that's not a knife now. This cardstock was one I just grabbed off of my stash, and it was a little bit thicker, so I'm wondering if that's why I don't need the top plate this time, but it's still a little too loose without it. Okay, so we're gonna change our tactics here, and we're gonna go looser and add the top plate to it. There we go, that feels good. Kind of chunky, but it feels good. I don't know what that's about. Alright, now we're going to take a little peeky at it. Oh, that's why it's a little funky. That's why. Yep, looks good. Alright. I'm happy with that. I think. Just inspecting, don't mind me. Yeah, that's good enough. I'll take that. Okay. I could have helped it by misting it. I just really didn't want to. And it's just a background piece. So, it will be fine. Alright, here we go. Come here. Ta-da! And there we are. Really pretty. Now, I didn't get it perfectly centered, so I know I said I wasn't gonna trim it, but I am. I'm gonna use this paper cutter to do it instead of the other one, because this one's easier to line up. I think, in my personal opinion. This is one of those ones that has, like, the wire in it, so it makes it really easy to see exactly where I'm cutting, compared to my Caterpillar, which is sometimes not as easy to see. And, I mean, this might be my fault, aka it is 100% my fault. But I'm going to start, because I know my edges aren't totally even here, which means my border's not going to be totally even. So I'm going to start first by just, like, cutting off all these little edges that didn't emboss, and then see what my panel measures, and then go from there. I say these little edges like they were supposed to emboss and they didn't, but it's just the embossing floor doesn't go quite all the way to the edge. So it doesn't quite emboss all the way to the edge because it's not supposed to. But anyway, back to me lining up these paper cutters. So I think this one, the wire is just easier for me to see where I'm cutting compared to the Caterpillar, but the Caterpillar cuts better. So if I'm doing something just purely based on measurements, Okay, it's 5 1/4, so I need to be 6 3/4 on this side. Which I might need to open this for. Ugh, come on. There we go. Actually, maybe I didn't need to do that. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I did. Okay. And I picked like the worst measurement to measure on here too. 1. Right there. Okay. Look, I think we got it, y'all. I think it's gonna work perfect. Yep, sweet. Okay. Didn't even have to trim it down. But the caterpillar shows you where it's gonna cut based on the light, which is very helpful sometimes. But because of how bright my studio lights are, like studio lights, I don't really have studio lights, but because of how bright those lights are, it's too hard to see for me. So I prefer to do it this way, or use that cutter for that. Also for small cuts, like 1/8 inch cuts and stuff like that, I think it's a lot easier to see on my Fiskars cutter. So, and do for that matter, because it like has more of a like this on this side, where the caterpillar one doesn't have anything on this side of it. But I mean, that's just personal preference, really. Okay, here we go. Here's this. And I really want to, I don't know if that's going to work though. I don't think that's going to work. I think I'm going to have to not do that. Okay, so here's this. I'm going to stick this down, which I finally have more Gina K tape runners. I ran out of them for a while, but I finally have them again. Alright, we're going to stick this down. Why does this feel so scary? I don't know. It's so weird. Not even doing anything like super intensive, but I'm like, I just got really nervous about sticking this down. Okay. Have you ever I don't, maybe this is me being weird, which, I mean, is a very big possibility. But have you ever noticed, like, after you emboss stuff, like, the paper just feels really cool? And I don't mean, like, in the embossed, like, design kind of cool. I just mean, like, the texture of the paper it feels softer. The paper feels softer. And I don't know, I think that's really cool. So I don't know if she's here, because I haven't seen her yet, but she might be. My aunt, if you were over here last time, she's been working on this really cool project, I think. She used to teach at the school in my state for the deaf. And she has been working on some projects for some deaf-blind kids. And she came over to my house and she brought a whole bunch of embossing folders, because we were talking, like, options for that they can feel. And she was like, can you think of anything, like, texture-wise, like, in your craft room that you think might work for this project? And I was like, I have the perfect thing, and it's called embossing folders. So she just came over a couple weeks ago and got a bunch of them from me to try and use for this project she's working on. And I just think that's really cool. Okay, this is coming out so good. I'm so happy with it. Okay. There's always that little nerve of, like, this idea works in my head, but I don't know if it works in real life, and I was a little nervous, but I think it's coming out really well. Okay, we're not going to use that glue. We're going to use this glue. I still have not labeled the matte glue, by the way. It still is by itself. It just has the washi tape on it, so that I can tell which one it is. I'm going to do this differently than how I'm currently doing it. Hold on, I gotta get this. Look at these giant Post-it notes I got from my dad. They're huge. But I'm pretty much using them as scrap paper for things like this that get messy at times. Okay. So I'm gonna glue all this down. I'm just using the matte glue because I just have a feeling I'm going to over glue this because that's what I do. So I've been debating if I want to turn this into a birthday or an anniversary card, and it's gonna depend on, in a minute, what greetings I have, because I'm using for this card some greetings I already had done, and I don't remember if there's a happy anniversary one in there. Theoretically there should be, but that doesn't mean there is actually one in there. I mean, I need both anniversary cards and birthday cards. I have an anniversary coming up, like, next week, I think. I don't know. I'd have to actually, like, look at the dates. To see. We're doing okay-ish on time, too. I do not think we're going to get through all 5 of my cards, though. I think we're only going to get through 2. But, because it's already 6:40, and I don't want to go that much over an hour, so then we're going to do this one, and then we're going to do one of the really easy ones, and then I will try to film that follow-up video. I don't want to keep you guys here all day. And I am in the middle of a book that I'm almost done with, and I kind of want to finish it tonight, so. I mean, I could stay here all night with you on live and still finish that book, honestly, but because I would just stay up and finish it. I don't know if anyone else is like that, but I'm not as much now that I'm older, but when I was a kid, I was absolutely the kid who was staying up till like 2 in the morning to finish whatever book they were reading. Okay. Yeah! The glue is already gluing everywhere. Okay. We're gonna fix it, don't worry. Alright, we're gonna stick this down. Glue everywhere. This is why we used the matte glue, because I knew this was gonna happen. Alright, I might need to let this dry a little bit before we go on to the next bit, because I just think it's gonna happen. I think it just needs to sit under a block for a little while and dry. But we gotta get all the excess glue off of it first. Oop. Luckily this isn't super, super delicate, so I'm not horribly worried about accidentally ripping it. But yep, see, I'm not horribly worried about accidentally ripping it. Promptly accidentally rips it. But my aunt says that she's here and that the embossing folders were very helpful. That makes me happy. I just thought it was a very cool, different way to use them. And not something I really thought of before we talked about it. Gluey mess. Okay. Yeah, see? I mean, it's fine. We're fine. We're going to cover some of that up anyway. Alright. Now, we do this one. And I will try to not make a mess this time. No promises, though. No promises. Put some glue up here. Okay, well I'm gluing, and since, like I said, I think we're only going to get through 2 of these cards tonight. Let me chat a little bit about March. So, I was looking at the calendar after I scheduled this live because I was like, oh, maybe I'll schedule March's right at the same time. And I ended up choosing not to do that because I actually have my first dance competition ever the weekend before. So I don't know exactly when I'm competing yet because we won't find out till like right before. I think they said like a week to 2 weeks before we'll find out. So I don't know for sure if I'm competing Friday or Saturday or what time or all that jazz. But I have heard that they can make you quite tired. So it's a little hesitant to schedule the live at first for right after that. Now I do have to travel a little bit for this one. It's still in my state. It's just a couple hours away from me. So I do have to go and we'll probably have to stay overnight at least one night. So I'm not real sure right now. This is my first ever dance competition. I've never done one before. People have at my studio have been, very nice about kind of giving me a heads up of what to expect, but at the same time you kind of don't know till you go, So I don't really know what's going to happen for March. But this is the plan. This is the thoughts in my head. I still want to do March, obviously. And I had the option of either doing my live the week later, pushing it back a week, which is a fair option. Or I could do a stream that I've kind of been wanting to do since I started doing lives. And I honestly think this is the option I'm going to take because I really just need to do this. For myself, even. So, I think that's going to be the plan. I think I just glued paper towel to this instead of, cleaning it up. Hold on, I'm going to grab a block really quick so that we can let that dry. It's pretty dry, but I can get a little bit straightened up while it finishes. I have been wanting to do this because I don't know about anyone else out there, but for me, sometimes I have a lot of craft room tasks that I just simply put off forever. Because I don't make time for them, like cutting card panels, restocking card bases, what else? Cleaning up my Copic markers and doing Copic ink refills, sticking labels on my stamps and die sets after I've entered them into my inventory program, all that kind of stuff. It's the stuff that I just sort of gets shoved off to the side because I either want to be creative or have videos to film or fill in the blank. So I don't know. I've really wanted to do a stream the whole time that is basically I don't know if you guys have ever heard of body doubling, which is basically where you sit in the same room with someone and you work on things, but you're working on your own thing, but you're together. And that's kind of the goal of this stream that I want to do in March. I have a huge list of labeling and organizing and generic cleaning up tasks. Like I said, restocking. I mentioned earlier that my card bases are running low, so I'd really like to make some of those. I keep some pre-cut card panels around. I'd really like to restock those. I have gotten the hold on, they're buried. Dividers for my paper storage. I want to label those. I want to make all of the scrap stamp pockets and label those. These are all little tiny things that I want to do in my craft room that take time, and I just have a hard time making the time to do them. So my plan for the March stream is to do a little body double stream. And we're just going to hang out and do organization tasks. Bring your thing that you've been putting off doing. Maybe you have some new sets you have to like process, or maybe you need to die cut some greetings and sentiments so you have them, or you just want to die cut some stuff just because you can. Like all that kind of stuff. Bring all that with you. Maybe you also want to prep some card panels, or maybe you want to make some backgrounds, or so that you're just ready to go next time you sit down to make things. Like, think of all those kinds of things that you want to do. Maybe you just need to clean your craft room. Maybe you just have stuff everywhere and you just need to straighten it up. That's what this stream is for. It's literally just a like sit and chat kind of situation. We're just gonna hang out and organize our stuff. And I'm hoping that gets me to get some of this stuff done that I've just been putting off and putting off and putting off and putting off and putting off, because that's what I do. That's not really what I do. I'm usually pretty good about it. I've just been very busy, so I haven't been keeping up with it the way I would like to be keeping up with it. So, but that's the concept. We're going to have a body double stream and try to get some of these tasks done. Like right now, I'm either going to be labeling and putting mostly labeling my stamps and dies, because I have probably almost a year's worth of stamps and dies down there that it's probably not that long. It's probably like 6 months worth of stamps and dies in my cubby that I need to just process in. Because I've used them now, and some of them will most likely, I'll look at them now and they'll get in the go de-stash. Some of them will get processed and put away. It all just depends when I look at them again. So, because clearly I'm not missing most of them, but I have so much stuff that really, I don't think I know if I was missing it. So, maybe that's your task. Maybe you just need to de-stash stuff. That's also a craft room task that I'm telling you what to do on my next stream. That's not really what I'm intending to do. I'm just trying to give you ideas. But that's the plan. So it's a little bit of a more chill stream. We'll probably definitely keep it to about an hour unless we're all like having a really, really good time. Or getting lots of stuff done or something, and I can tell you guys how the competition goes when we get there. I am quite excited about it. We're having a little dress rehearsal tomorrow, me and my duet partner. This competition's not going to be as intense as some of the later ones I have too, because I'm actually doing 3. I'm doing 3 competition routines this year. So this one though, I'm only competing my duet, so it's not quite as crazy intense as the ones I'll have in April and May, which will be every single one of my 3 routines. So, but we're having dress rehearsal tomorrow, me and my duet partner, because we both have ballet class together tomorrow, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. All of my stuff is packed, or my costume is packed in my dance bag so that I can take it with me tomorrow, and it should be fun. Luckily for me, my duet partner does have competition experience. This is like the 3rd or 4th year, I think, that she's done competition, so she's kind of been very helpful through all of this and helping me figure it out. So she was the one who was smart enough to say, hey, we should practice in our dresses at least once before we go. And I was like, oh, you know what? That's not a bad idea. We should absolutely do that. So we asked if the studio was available tomorrow, and it is, so that's what we're going to do. Okay. So I haven't really been talking about what I've been doing. I've just been talking about March streams and dance. Oh, the March stream would be helpful to give you a date. Would be March 9th. So exactly a month from today. Okay. There we go. Nah. So I am just trying to, trying is the key word here. Trying to glue these little vines down. And my fingers are just getting sticky from the glue. So I'm going to hand sanitizer myself over here. Also, fun fact, if you didn't know, hand sanitizer expires. This has been expired for like 3 years. But my understanding is that it really just makes it so that it doesn't do the antibacterial stuff, you know? So, like, it's not killing any germs, but it does still work to get the sticky and things off my table and off of my hands. So, I don't need it to be killing germs here. Because the only germs in here 99.9% of the time are my own, so that's okay. Okay. Now, we're going to glue some flowers in. Alright. I do think it would be really fun. Do I really want to do this, though? I kind of do. Okay. So I'm not going to be super, I don't know what the word is, but I'm not going to be super specific, I guess, about how I do these flowers. I'm, like, literally just going to go for it. And where they end up is where they end up. But I'm going to drop the leaf. This leaf is tiny. I should really be using my pick and stick tool for this. I'm still not using my pick and stick tool for this. Maybe I should do that. Okay. You win. That's the wrong side. I want this side. You win. Nope. Almost glued it to my table. Would have been very on brand, though. Alright. Just putting little leafy. See, and this is where I should have done what I was going to do before. It would have been easier. But I'm not doing anything super, like, I'm not planning out, like, where these flowers are going or anything like that. They're just going where they're going. They're going where they land, okay? Definitely need to get some of these purple flowers in here, though, because I have plans for the centers of them. I'm sort of cheating and only putting one leaf on each of these as well, because I don't really want to cut more leaves if I don't have to. Because I think I have 12 leaves, so I shouldn't have. Well, I have more than 12 flowers, though. Also, while I was die cutting these this morning, I've realized something. I don't have very much green cardstock going on. Wait, that's a lie. I have too much green cardstock going on. That wasn't what I wanted to say. I have too much green cardstock. I don't ever use green, apparently. So that's a new goal for myself, to use more green. Because I have so much cardstock, especially this dark green. This dark green is the, I can't really see it that well. This dark green is the fresh asparagus from Gina Designs. And I have so much. It doesn't even all fit in the slot. Like, I have to keep some of it not in this little slot thing. Okay, we're going to try this way. Except that leaf is backwards, so let's flip it over. Maybe it was the right way. I might have just made it backwards now, but that's alright. It's a leaf. It's what I always tell people, like, when they're getting into coloring and stuff. Like, if you're nervous, color flowers first, or trees, or things like that, because you can't do it wrong. Because flowers and leaves and stuff, they just kind of do what they want in the real world. So, like, you can't do it wrong. I do have a coloring video coming up soon. I'd have to check the schedule to see exactly when it's coming, but it is coming soon. I know it's filmed. I just don't remember what day it's scheduled for. That was that one. And now we're going to do this one. Oopsie. This is what happens when I wait till the end to do these little things too. My fingers get sticky. And then things... I have to wait a little bit longer for things to dry. Here's my other little tip too with doing flowers like these. I don't know if you can see what I just did. There you are. Is when I have like the little leaf, I will put more glue over the little leaf when I go to glue the flower down, because then in my brain it just makes it stick better. Okay, in my brain I was gonna do like a lot of flowers, but I kind of don't want to. Like, I'm looking at this now and I'm like, I don't really think I want to do as many flowers as I thought I did at the beginning, because I'm kind of liking it a little bit more minimally. I want to put one more of these pink ones like right at the top, and then another purple one here, another purple one here, and then I think I want to be done. And then one more purple one. Right, I want it to line up perfectly, so I'm going to put a little bit more down here. Makes it kind of a big blank spot there, but I think it's alright. Alright. Now, I want to get rid of this. What I'm going to do for the centers of the flowers. Move that out of the way for a moment. Is, hopefully, because I didn't actually make sure I had any, which I do, I see them. I'm going to use these little pearls. There should be tiny little ones in there. But to find the tiny little ones, I need my little thingy. Here it is. I'm going to dump some of these out and watch me spill them because, yep, see, I told you. Every time. And my fingers are still sticky, so they're sticking to me a little bit too. Alright, we go shaggy shaggy. Okay. Oh, runaways, come back here. Because I want to find the tiny ones. I see some. I think I have enough. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right in the middle. You guys see what I'm doing? I'm not really paying attention to where I am on camera. Alright, there's that. And then there was a little tiny pearl right here. Oops. Stick. And then again. Same thing. You could also do this with, if you felt so inclined, like a stickles or a glitter glue or something like that. I wanted to use the pearls today though. I was going to die cut the little circles this morning, and then I was like, no, you know what I want to do? Use the little pearls. Because I think they're pretty. And they add just a little bit of sparkle. The angel or rhinestones would be pretty too. That was more your jam. Alright. There we go. And now those can dry a little bit while we do our last step for this card. And then like I said, we'll do the easy one because it's only just after 7, so, and I don't think that one will take too long to do. And then we can at least say we did 2. This way before I lose it. Come on, there we go. Got it. Alright. Slight attempt to keep myself together here today. My fingers are still gluey. Alright, now we go into my box of fun. This is my little box where I keep all of my little extra die cut pieces. These are all the circles from our last video. Well, not our last video, but from our last live. And some other ones from some other dies I've done. Frames, flowers, look, more flowers. I have lots of flowers. Ovals. I think one of those might be a Masky Magic oval, actually. No, I think I got rid of those. More circles. Alright, here we go. I'm finding what I'm looking for. Alright. I have lots of little flowers in here. And like the little pieces I have left over from this will go in here too. And it's just in here for me to use and pull pieces out of. But I see what I'm looking for. Alright, let's see if I can find, not that one. Hello, love. Hello. Yeah, so it could say, I love you. See? I love you. So these are, I should talk about them. You love. I love you. So these are very, very old. Here we go. Here's the happy. That's the silver one. I'm okay with the silver one. So if I can find the other silver one, then we'll be good. These are from Pink Fresh Studios. They are retired, unfortunately, because there was another set of them I wanted, and now I can't get them. But these are called, they're called Brush Sentiments. They came with a hot foil plate, a stamp set, a die set, and a stencil, hot foil, die set, and stamp set. I think I said all of that and then just forgot. I said it all. Alright, well here's the gold happy birthday. So we can use that if I can't find the silver one. But I think this is a silver birthday right there, yeah. But I really, really like them. But they're not ones that I, like, they all come, if I should have grabbed them so I could show them to you when I knew I was going to do this. But they're all one plate. Like, they're all one piece. So it's not necessarily easy to just, like, grab the greeting that you want off of them. So I simply have just done this. But I love the concept of, like, being able to do them, and I'm really glad I have the hot foil plate. And I'm really mad that I I have this awful habit of just assuming craft supplies will stay around forever, and then I don't get it when I see it that I want it, and then it retires and I don't get it. I'm in a couple of I sell trade groups, so maybe if I'm lucky I will find them eventually. But I just think they're very pretty. And like I said, I love that they have the hot foil and everything with them too, so I can get really cool foiled ones. And this was before like polyglaze greetings were a thing. So I didn't have a ton in the way of like foiled greetings and stuff, so it was very exciting when I got these. And I am a little bummed that I never got the Christmas ones. I did find somewhere that had them, but they were pretty expensive. And in reality, I don't need any more Christmas things. You didn't see what I'm doing. But, I mean, I might get them anyway just because they're retired. So, who knows? I haven't decided yet. And honestly, by now, the ones I found are probably sold out and gone. So, I should really just get over it. But, okay. There we go. Alright. And I just want to put this right on the gate. Happy birthday. Like so. I didn't actually look to see if there was an anniversary. I just found birthday and we just rolled with it. So we're gonna stick with that. And we're just gonna roll with that. See, I got this new camera to do these lives, right? And the one thing I don't like is that it doesn't let me zoom when I'm live. So that's a little annoying, because I'd love to zoom that in for you, but I cannot. But at least I can do lives at all, because I couldn't do them at all with my old camera, so. Improvement there. The one thing I will say about these greetings, though, is they are very big, so you have to really have the right moment to use them, and I think this is the right moment to use them. But they're also one of those things that are nice to do when you, like, need to get your mojo back. You know, I also could have turned this into a wedding card, because I'm going to need one of those pretty soon, too, but that was not the choice I made today. So, I do need more birthday cards, too. I need more masculine birthday cards. That should probably be a theme one of these days. I did just do some really cute ones, but I filmed it for another video, so we'll see if... I don't think it's going to be a live situation, but I do need to make a couple more masculine birthday cards. Birthday. There we go. And there we go. Alright. And that card's done. Yay, we got one done. I love foil, you guys. Okay. Alright. We're gonna put this off. I am going to stick this on top of here just to, like, let it dry a little bit. And then, what time is it? It is 7:14. Okay. We're on time crunch, because I said I didn't want to go past 7:30. So, let's see if we can get this other card done. It's going to be a one-layer card, but the downside is I do have to make a card base. That's what's going to take up the time, because I don't have one. So let's do that really quick. Hold on, how do I want to do this? I want to do it this way. Keep that so I can make that into another card base later. And grab my scoring board. Come here. Wait, I don't want that one though. I want this one. Ooh, I just knocked something over. I'll have to investigate that later. Okay. We're gonna score it at 4 1/4. I'm a little worried this isn't in here straight, but that's going to be okay. We will deal. Why did I put that away? I still needed that. There we go. That's actually a very nice card base, if I do say so myself. Okay. Alright, now we are going to use this die set right here. Do I have a somewhere, maybe? I don't think I do. Ooh, I do not. Alright, well, I'll just have to deal with that later. So, I want to do, because I just said that I'm trying to do masculine birthday cards, and I'm trying to use more greens. So, I'm going to do a green and blue situation over here. I'm going to do these two greens. I do have the cube for this one, I just don't know. It's just in its packaging, so I haven't opened it yet. And this one. And this one. I am very much just sort of going off vibes here. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But I feel like I should do two if I'm gonna do. So maybe these two. What do you guys think? I feel like the blue raspberry is a bit much. But this green is pretty bright. This is Kelly green. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Kelly green. I was right. This will probably be the first time I use this one. Am I okay with that? Do I want another like middle blue here? I kind of do. I think we're gonna go with this one. Or we're gonna go with this way. But see, now that feels like too dark. So I think we're just gonna let it go. Unless I do this. But that also feels a little too dark. So I think we're just gonna, I think we're gonna do this. I think we're gonna go with what we got here. Alright. I'm going to use this little swatchy bit thing here. This is a very easy, simple card. Very, very easy. I don't have any. Alright, so much for using this for a card base later. I'm going to use it now. And yes, I'm being brave and doing this on a block and not in a Misty. Kind of on purpose, though. But because this is a very solid stamp, I'm going to stamp it a couple times over here because it's new. And granted, I don't need it to be perfect. It's not what I'm going for here, but just to get it going a little bit. Okay. So all I'm gonna do, this is one of my favorite styles of cards to make. I love these little swatchy stamps for just this purpose because I think it's a very, very easy, really, really awesome card. So I'm going to, and I'll admit I did not necessarily like do my best rainbow order. I'm sitting at a weird angle and it's making it very hard to get this straight. I have 10 minutes left. I think I can do it. We'll end a little after 7:30 because I have to say bye, but we're going to be done with the crafting by 7:30, I think. Alright, I committed. It's down. Alright, there's there's that. And now I'm going to clean this one off. And consider this your reminder that your stamps, your cards don't have to be like these super extravagant things. Like, they can be pretty chill. This is also reminding me that I need to order, if you haven't noticed, the Gina K Designs cranberry inks are back in stock, and I still haven't gotten mine yet. So I need to see if I can, if they're still there, because they will sell out quickly. But I need to see if I can get them this time around. I avoided buying them last time because I don't have any space for them in my ink storage, but I think I've come up with what I want to do to solve that problem. So okay, that's not awful. I was a little worried when I dropped that, but that's not it didn't mess up too bad. But yeah, I'm simultaneously ready to commit to a new ink storage solution since I can't get my old one anymore, and also simultaneously not ready to all at the same time. Because I don't want to redo everything, and I have to like reorganize my whole desk again and all that kind of stuff. And that part's just annoying. So, I'm looking at this, and I'm going, I might stop at 3, actually. We'll see how this looks when I stamp this one down. I should have done the middle two first. I trusted myself a little too much there. Ooh, that one stamped kind of funky. That's alright, though. It should fix itself a little bit. I don't know. If I go any lower, it's going to start to look really off-center. But is that too boring with just the 3? Like, I feel like but you know why it's going to look dumb is because it's going to be the wrong number of colors. Or do I add another green on the top? I don't really have time to be making this debate. I think I'm going to leave it. It does feel a little boring, but I think we're going to go clean and simple on this one, and we're going to leave it, and I think it's going to be okay. So at one point I was going to actually die cut this greeting, but now I don't think I want to. I think I just want to stamp it on the top. But I am not risking the greeting without a Misty. I am not that brave. I want this one down here. I'm just just like, now I'm looking at my hang storage and I'm just very sad about potentially redoing the whole thing. Because I like this ink storage, but I need to grow and it can no longer grow with me. Guys, we're gonna finish before 7:30 because this is the end. Oh, where's my teddy tool? It's over here. Doop. There we go. And there we go. There's my little extra easy card. It's very clean and simple. I wish I would have planned out a little bit differently, but honestly, it's still a vibe, and I still really like it. And not everything has to be super crazy and dramatic. Alright. Let me clean this off, and then I will switch back to, well, we'll show off the cards we made, and then I'll switch back to Facecam and say goodnight. Okay. Let's put this away. I'm just trying to clean off the workspace a little bit so that it's not super messy when I show you the cards. Alright. Here we go. Get away. Get over there. We need all this stuff to take pictures anyway, so. Alright, so here's our little bonus card that we made. Very, very simple, but I love doing backgrounds with those swatches, and you know, sometimes a clean and simple card is everything, so there's that. And then here was our more complicated card. It was a 5x7 using the Garden Gate die set, the Garden Gate die set, and the Garden Gate vines, and then a little embossing folder moment on the background. So there's that one, and then there's this one, and those are our 2 cards so far. Let me switch back to my overhead here, or not my overhead, my face cam. Okay, so those are our 2 cards with our Cheerful Garden kit. So like I said, I will work on a follow-up video with my other card ideas for this, because I have 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Nope. Yep, 3 more. I had 3 more card ideas for this, but we're just not gonna have time for that. So I will work on that video. Like I said, I'm hoping maybe, because I'm not doing anything Thursday night and I'm not doing anything Sunday. So I'm sort of hoping maybe, big maybe, I can pull that off and get that done. But we will see what happens. I'm not sure. But for sure, at some point, I will do a follow-up to this. And even if for some reason it doesn't happen, because currently this kit exists. It is what is called what Gina's calling a mega kit. Because it is essentially 2 kits in one. There's enough supplies in it to be 2 kits. You got these 2 giant die sets, the Garden Gate and the Garden Gate vines. You had, I didn't really talk about this at all, but you had the Cheerful Greetings stamp. I already lost the stamp set. It's over here. Stamp set and die set. And then there was this other stamp and die set in there. These little cute critters. These kind of you can't see. I'm like showing this to the overhead like you can see. You can't. You know, there's this one that we use, the Cheerful Greetings. There's this other stamp, and die set, and then there's this whole little embossing folder bundle. And all of this will be available individually on her next release. And don't ask me to do the math because I'm not going to. But I promise you that even though this kit is more expensive than the other ones in the past, like it's worth it. Because I'm pretty sure I heard her say on a live that these 2 die sets that I used today, the Garden Gate one, is pretty much $100 together. So, and the kit's $120. So you're basically paying for this and one of the stamp sets, and then everything else in there is free. If that pricing's right. So, yeah, you know, it's worth it. If you haven't gotten the mega kit yet, get it. If you don't want it, if you only want some things out of it, everything will be available separately and not that long. So, anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me tonight. And I will see you again on March 9th. And like I said, bring whatever crafty thing, organization, task you've been putting off for far too long with you, and we will try to get some of those tasks done together. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. I'll see you again soon, and have a crafty day.